Welcome to Before Reading, your shortcut to getting right into the heart of new books.
Yeah, hello.
Today we are diving deep into Panem again. We're talking about Suzanne Collins' Sunrise on the Reaping.
The big one. The Hunger Games prequel everyone's been waiting for.
Absolutely. And our mission today is, well, to figure out what makes this book important. What are its core ideas?
Right, and how does it connect back to the original trilogy, back to Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes? We want to unpack all of that.
We've got some great perspectives to help us do that. Insights from Jennifer Harlan at the Book Review, Hannah Gadway from the Crimson, plus a really detailed summary.
So a good mix, some praise, some more critical thoughts too. Just give us a balanced picture.
Okay, so let's set the scene.
Yeah.
This is book 5 in the whole series, the second prequel.
And timeline-wise, it's 40 years after Lucy Gray's story in Ballad.
And 24 years before Katniss steps up, so right in that gap.
Exactly. And the focus, it's Haymitch Abernathy, but not the Haymitch we know. He's 16.
Yeah, and it's during the 50th Hunger Games, which was also the Second Quarter Quell.
Ah, the Quarter Quells. Always something special, wasn't it? And usually horrible.
This one definitely was. The twist was double the tributes. So 4 kids from each district instead of 2.
Oof, brutal. 2 boys, 2 girls.
Right. And the book kicks off on Reaping Day in District 12, which is, and this is just cruel, also Haymitch's 16th birthday.
Wow. Yeah, Collins doesn't pull punches with the irony, does she?
Not at all. We see him, working as a moonshiner's apprentice. He's got these hopes.
Pretty normal hopes, right? Like keeping his family safe, having a future with his girlfriend, Lenore Dove. You see this potential for a life.
A life that gets completely derailed because even though he isn't picked initially, well, things go wrong at the reaping.
Yeah, the other male tribute, the second one they reaped because of the quell, he gets killed right there.
And just like that, Haymitch is in. His whole world changes in an instant.
It really sets up this sense of impending doom, knowing the cynical, broken man he becomes.
Let's talk about that contrast. The Haymitch in this book versus the one mentoring Katniss and Peeta.
It's stark, isn't it? The reviews really pick up on this. He's described as more hopeful here. He has a loving family, this relationship with Lenore.
It's almost jarring. You read about this kid with connections and dreams, and you just keep thinking about the isolated alcoholic he turns into.
And that's the power of it, I think, that dramatic irony. We, the readers, know the tragedy is coming. Seeing his youthful optimism is just heartbreaking.
It really underscores the cost, doesn't it? What the Capitol and the games did to people.
Absolutely. And the book apparently digs into how the Capitol actively shaped his public image.
Oh yeah, like propaganda.
Exactly. How they twisted his story, his experiences. One review mentioned this helps explain why Katniss saw him the way she did initially, just as this washed-up drunk.
So the book is suggesting that was a constructed image, at least partly.
It seems like it's exploring that, yeah, how the truth gets buried. But you also see flashes of the rebel in him, even back then.
Yeah, but maybe. More naive, less strategic than Katniss or Lucy Gray.
Possibly. Like he's pushing back, but maybe doesn't fully grasp the game yet. Not like the survivors we know.
Okay, so connections. This book seems packed with them, like little Easter eggs for fans.
Definitely sounds like it. There are mentions, or maybe more than mentions, of Lucy Graybaird's relatives, maybe through Lenore Dove.
Interesting. And more about Katniss's dad.
Yeah, potentially fleshing out his story a bit, and maybe even hints about where the Mockingjay pin came from originally.
Wow, okay. So lots of threads tying things together. What about other characters?
We apparently see younger versions of people we know. BT, Mags, Wires.
Oh, really? So we get more background on them.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Especially how that Quarter Quell impacted them, like BT trying to sabotage the arena, even back then.
Oh, that's a cool link. Foreshadowing his actions in Catching Fire.
Exactly. It adds layers to their later choices. And it's not just tributes. Effie Trinket apparently starts her career as a stylist for Haymitch's interviews.
No way, Effie. That's wild.
Yeah, little details like that really fell out of the world. But maybe the biggest connection is understanding Haymitch's trauma.
Right, because he becomes so deeply cynical.
The book seems to show why. It apparently details how the Capitol's cruelty didn't stop at the arena gates. The deaths of his allies inside were personalized.
Awful.
And then after he won, the fate of his family and Lenore.
Oh man, so the Capitol took its revenge on him even after he survived their game.
It paints a really bleak picture of why he is the way he is in the original trilogy. It explains that deep-seated hatred and despair.
Okay, so shifting to themes. It sounds like the familiar ones are their propaganda, authoritarianism.
For sure. but maybe also a focus on those very first tiny sparks of rebellion before things really ignited.
And the brutality is still front and center, I gather.
Oh, absolutely. The arena for the 50th Games is described as like this beautiful garden.
But deadly, right.
Totally. A verdant garden of earthly terrors, one review called it, with things like genetically modified killer squirrels.
Killer squirrels, okay, that's memorable. Collins's imagination remains pretty vivid.
Definitely. Now, some reviewers wondered if it covers much new thematic ground, or if it feels a bit like revisiting familiar territory.
Yeah, I saw that mentioned. Like, is it essential reading or more for the hardcore fans?
But others felt that exploring Haymitch's past does add significant depth, and that the story itself is really engaging. Collins's writing is still sharp, keeps you hooked.
That leads to the fan service question, doesn't it? All those connections we mentioned.
Right. Are they cool nods, or do they sometimes feel a bit much, like they make the world feel smaller, almost too interconnected?
It's a tough balance. You want to reward longtime readers, but the story also needs to stand on its own.
Exactly. So some debate there about, the necessity of this particular story, even if it's well told and exciting for fans.
So wrapping things up here for our before reading deep dive, it sounds like Sunrise on the Reaping offers a pretty intense look back.
Definitely. A deep dive into Haymitch's origins, the brutality of that specific quarter quell, and how it all fits into the bigger picture of Panem.
We've touched on his tragic backstory, those intricate connections, the themes of propaganda and rebellion's early glimmers.
Yeah, whether you're eager to jump back into this world or just curious, it sounds like a compelling, though probably quite emotional read.
That exploration of the capital's control, the cost of defiance, definitely things that stick with you.
For sure. Leaves you thinking about how those cycles of violence and control work.
Well, we hope this gives you a clearer picture of what Sunrise on the Reaping holds.
Hope it was helpful.
And if you enjoyed this kind of exploration and want more deep dives into fascinating books, definitely follow our channel.
Yeah, and subscribing means you won't miss the next one.